The timing begins the second that this deeds disappears from the screen. Now. Welcome to Viva Pinata. This game was launched by Rareware, now Rare. They are a Microsoft corporation, and it was launched on the Xbox 360 and PC. I'm going to be running the Xbox 360 doing the level 10 Garden category. So right at the beginning here we're going to be doing a lot of menuing. And this game is really RNG heavy, which makes this game really fun for both the audience as well as me, because it lets me think on the fly as to what I have to do. Alright. And now we're done with all the cutscenes that slow us down. There's cutscenes later we can actually skip. Yes, this is Viva Pinata. A lot of people know of this game and don't realize that there's cutscenes that can actually be skipped. There's actually tricks involved with this entire game. And that's why we're actually trying to show this off at SGDQ. So there's our first bout of RNG. You never know when these worms are going to show up. And so that's why I just continue going throughout the entire level, trying to destroy all the junk that I can. So here's our last one. When I destroy this is actually going to go into the next cutscene. And that cutscene is actually our first cutscene skip. Okay, oh, we're missing this one right up here. There we go, and we're gonna go into our cutscene skip. There we go. As long as you hit select there, it will actually skip the entire. It will skip a cutscene as well as one of the other cutscenes that's coming up later. I'll explain it when it happens. This beginning area is actually one of the most boring, tedious areas in the entire run. But once we're done with the first night of the game, it actually picks up quite a bit. So now that we're almost done with this, the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to be we're going to be laying down the grass packet, which is actually the cutscene that we skipped to begin with. Normally what you want to do when you're playing this game is you want to try and lay down the grass throughout the entire area, but all we're going to be doing is laying down grass around the outside edge of the garden to summon the Serpent as well as some other pinatas that are going to be coming up later on in the game. So the next thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be waiting for the worms to be coming in. There's our first one. And that's our first incentive that I'm going to start explaining is these worms come in and you can actually name them. So the incentive would be to name the first pinata, which would be this worm. And now we're just going to follow this worm until he becomes a resident. Because in order to continue throughout the game, you actually have to read the information on the worm. There we go. And then, since there's one resident, the experiment will spawn. And while this is happening, we're actually getting our second resident for the worm. Right there. And since he's gonna become a resident here, we're gonna move over to this corner because we're gonna meet my favorite character of the entire game. We only see him once, but he's my favorite character. Willie here. He builds our romance house. The romance houses are what give you more worms. Now, the reason I want this game in is because this community has grown quite a bit since I originally started running this game in 2017, 2018. It might have actually found. Oh, I might have actually found a new skip, and we're gonna test this out in just a little bit here. But it's very supportive of new players coming in, and we want it to be known that there actually is a way to speed run this game, and anybody can join this, young and old, because it's really simple and really fun to run. So our next skip here is we're gonna wait until Willie walks out of the door will close, and then after the door closes we're gonna count to 1. Once we count to 1, we're gonna hit smash object, and that is the fastest way to destroy this building. 1 now. There we go, that's the fastest way to actually destroy that building, and we're gonna look for both of the worms. We're gonna move one of the worms up here, and the next one is actually going to walk up to this one and be attracted to it. I promise this game is PG. The reason I'm saying that is you'll see in just a second. So we don't collect coins in this game until the very end of the run. So we're going to collect 1 coin there, and then we're going to just go to the very edge of each one of these bombs. And then I'm going to try and be quiet here because this is actually my favorite part of the entire run. So them walking in is actually randomized too. They could potentially just wait for like 30 seconds and not do anything. So we have a couple things going on right now. Right now, Starkos is going to be delivering an egg, as well as we're going to be looking at the sparrow mint that came into our garden. We're going to try and make him a resident. There he goes. He's flying over here. What we're going to do is, when he lands up here, we're just going to hit him off. Unfortunately, I made him dizzy, but that's fine. When he flies off, he's going to land right there. He's going to say, oh wait, I actually kind of like this garden. And he's going to become a resident. And while that was happening, we had an egg spawn. So what we're going to do is I'm going to be moving it over here. The reason for that is once this egg hatches, he actually likes to follow his parents into where it likes to follow its parents in wherever it goes. So moving the egg over here, we're actually going to control the egg. We're going to control the worm that comes out of here and make it so it gets really sad that it's not an adult to romance. And we're going to make it become an adult as fast as possible. Okay, it's really happy. he's not going to be happy in a second. It's very sad that it's not an adult. There we go. So now we're just gonna tap A or repeat it. We're gonna tap to crack this worm as fast as possible. So we're gonna hit A until it cracks open, and now we're on to our next area here. What's gonna happen is it's gonna show two hands. We're gonna look for the turnip seed, which is purple, right there. That's good. It can also appear in the other hand, and now we're going into our second most important aspect of the game, which is the watering can. We're actually going to skip the watering can like we did for the seed packet. Now on the water spikes right here, the blue spikes, you can have 9 of those there, and if you have them at 9, it's actually the best growing that you can have for a plant. If it's down to about 3 or above 9, it'll actually slow down the growing. And there we go. So now, growing that turnip will actually activate our next pinata, which will appear right out here. There's our marshmallow. And having the marshmallow in will actually start activating the night cycle, the early night cycle. And it's an 8% chance for the marshmallow to actually get attracted to the turnip that we just planted and come into our garden on the first night. Come on in. Come on in. You know you smell it. Come on in. So this moth drop actually activates the actual night cycle of the game, and there isn't really anything that's happening throughout the night except for a couple of skips or dialogue skips that I do. So that's actually, this nighttime cycle is the best time to read donations. Oh, and one more thing that I was going to explain is everything that we just did here inside of the garden will get us, is actually setting us up to be level 2 in the garden. Our goal is to be to level 10. So if the moth drop joins in with us at night, it will actually get us 2 experience up closer to that next level. So we're hoping for it to join us at night. Oh, it looks like he's attracted. We might get him tonight. There we go. So we're gonna get this mouth drop in. This is gonna give us 2 extra experience. That will get us closer to the 3rd level. And that bird is up and the worms are coming out, so we got lucky enough because once the worms start coming out, the moth drop will actually start flying away. Awesome, awesome. So we're actually coming up on level 1. Once this hits 6 o'clock on pedal level, we can hit our first level. And now we're gonna hit our 2nd level the second that it says your gardening is right there. You leveled up. And we're actually 2 experience above what we would be, and we're on to the most exciting part of the run. The first thing that's going to happen here is we're going to meet Cedos. What we need from Cedos is 1 turnip, 2 carrots, 1 buttercup, and 4 daisies. In order to do that, we're actually going to be hitting him until he gets really annoyed with us. And this is where the RNG really kicks in. Because we never know what Cedos is going to drop for us. So the second that he gets into the garden, we're gonna be hitting him to make him move to the center of the garden. And once he gets to the center of the garden, we are gonna hit him a couple more. We're gonna start hitting him again in order to make him drop stuff for us. Hopefully. And now we're gonna hit him 4 times now. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now he's gonna run off, which is good because he's really mad at us. So he's gonna come back and he's actually gonna plant a thistle plant, and with that thistle plant, it's actually gonna make it. It's going to make it so we'll be able to get a variant of the spearmints. The variants are actually colors, different colors for the pinatas, and they give us almost double the experience. Each plant that we plant also gets us experience, as well as once we get 2 plants. Once we get 2 plants in here, we're going to spawn a taffly, and we get 2 carrots in here. We're going to make a bunnycomb appear, and 4 daisies makes a white flutterscotch become a resident. Alright, so we got this thistle. You're mad at us? Alright. We want this gone, as well as this. And we're gonna make you eat that. And we want this hunt to actually take place. Because of the hunt, it will actually make this... We will actually make the serpent become a resident. What just happened? Why is this world not eating this? There we go. That's really good. And here's our white flutterscotch.
Congratulations! Your garden.
Alright, that's really good. And now we are waiting for we're waiting for Lottie to come in. So we can get 2 carrots, we can get 3 more daisies, a torch, and we can just set down a buttercup. This is all planted. We want to try and destroy it before something else before something else gets close to it. If a pinata gets close to it, it'll actually become very angry and start fighting, and we don't want that.
Now costs a lot.
Alright. Mr. Sparrowmint.
Your gardening is
Mr. Sparrowmint, I need you to come over here. Alright, this is another thing about the speed run is it has a lot of cutscene involved with it because of all of the pinatas that happen once you get certain stuff in it. Alright, so we have a couple of things that we have to do here. First off, we're going to grab, oops, not that. We are going to grab 2 carrots here. 1, 2.
thanks.
We're going to back out. We are going to fertilize one of them because fertilizing them actually makes more points for us. Then we are going to plant a buttercup.
Okay.
Then we are going to plant 3 more daisies here. As well as putting down fire. And then we got our taffly. This taffly is going to eat that. This is going to make one variant of it.
My name is Jardinette.
This will get us a lot of points. Then once it becomes that, we are going to make him fly into this fire. which will in turn make him go on fire and turn him into, once we put him out, we're actually gonna make him into a new species altogether. This is gonna give us more points.
Your gardening.
Now, what we're going to do is we're going to be digging 4 holes
After
and buying some more stuff.
you need to put
1, 2, 3, 4. While we're at nighttime here,
Hello. Chocolate
then we
nut in your
got
pocket. I'll take it. I'm not.
a bluebell. We're gonna set down 2. We're gonna plant 1, set down 2. Then we're gonna plant a poppy seed,
You won't.
plant corn,
An ex- Looks like I need to order.
then we're going to
I wish I could say so that.
plant a tree and set down one of the seeds. Where is my red hot? My red hot is actually going to eat one of these. Then we're going to water a bunch of this stuff, because it waters out really quickly. What is it doing? There we go. That should become a variant.
Your garden.
all right.
So next thing we're gonna do here is now that we have this fully upgraded, we're actually gonna sell the red hot and get money. So we'll have it for a little bit later. Which one is the blue buttercup? Okay, so now with the serpent here, we're gonna make him eat this buttercup. Here comes the bunny comb. The bunny comb comes in because of the 2 carrots. And the serpent will become a new variant with eating the buttercup flower. So there's our other variant. And now we're hoping for other things to come in here. All we need is one more thing to come in to visit us. We have 4 daisies for the white flutterscotch. We have 2 carrots for the bunnycomb. And we're waiting for one more character to come in so we can buy something else here. Come on in, Bunnycomb. You're always welcome here. So the flutterscotch is good. And a bunnycomb visitor. There's 1 carrot eaten, and it needs to eat the other carrot. And that became a resident. And then the flutterscotch, wherever that is. Where is the flutterscotch? The flutterscotch can actually eat this poppy. That will make it a different variant. And the variant should actually make it so, nope, we don't end there. We have just a little bit more here. I don't know what left to do. Because one of the characters did not spawn for us. There we go, Miss Petula. Get Miss Petula up here. And Miss Petula will actually get us our last character that we need. Oops.
Hey, pal. I knew you.
Hello there, Mike.
And there is the ending. after it said garden, after it said gardening is improving, that was actually the ending of the run. So thank you for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. This was a little bit harder of RNG, but I was able to work it out and wait it out because I knew exactly what had to happen in order for me to get the rest of the experience points. I'm hoping that this is chosen, and I really appreciate you guys watching this.